One thing I do here on the channel is I take a look at who's saying what about Johnny and how their narrative is, and I guess you could say how the tide is. This here's from Variety, and it says Hollywood Vampires postpones tour dates after Johnny Depp injures ankle from May 29th, 2023. Happened a few days ago. The news is not brand new, but the thing is, I wanted to see what Variety has to say. Not going to read word for word, but let's just get an idea. They start by saying Johnny got an injury to his ankle, pretty much like everybody else said. They put up the quotes exactly from the band, the news they put out about Johnny, the rescheduling, and things like that. Pretty standard. But what else can they say about that? So obviously, they want to report on this incident that happened. It's Johnny Depp. It's big enough. But what are they going to include with this info? They start by saying he hasn't been camera shy. They mention his defamation lawsuits, that he won one in the US, and of course they mention he lost in the UK. Not sure why. I make videos and I mention it because I mention what the mainstream and the legacy media mentions as a third party. If they didn't mention it, I don't think I'd ever have to make a video strictly about these cases unless it was some really throwback deep dive once a year kind of thing, but they mention it all the time. They also have to say that even though he won in Virginia, that he's sidelined by the industry. He was forced to exit Warner Bros. Harry Potter, but they do mention the $20 million deal with Dior, which they have to because that's huge. Then they put a statement in here that he doesn't feel boycotted. They also include this quote from Depp. It's a strange, funny time where everyone would love to be able to be themselves, but they can't. They must fall in line with the person in front of them. If you want to live that life, I wish you the best. And I think that's a tiny stab at cancel culture, by the way. And a good quote by Johnny. And that's it. That's the whole article. I'm just not sure why it has to be this roundabout thing about Johnny's history, about the case in Virginia. Why is it relevant to even mention what happened with Fantastic Beasts? It's completely off the range of what's going on. Why not talk about the band? Talk about his past performances, his successes, keep it with music, make a little music report. Why do we have this report about what the band's going to do for concerts, cancellations, things like that, and then get into the deep, deep, dark history of the court case and the sidelining and things like that? You know, I got to admit, they put some positive stuff in here, but it seems like a real sidetrack thing to do. It seems like they're just using Johnny's ankle to get an article here. Now you might say, wait a minute, that's what you guys do. You YouTubers do that. But the difference is, we're on the side of Johnny through and through. Everything I put out here is positive about Johnny because I'm on his side. That's where the evidence points. Variety isn't. Variety just switches to whatever happens to be the flavor of the day, and they throw in negativity and mean it as if it might be true. It is true. Look at that. When I mention these things, I say, well, Johnny got unjustly kicked out of these franchises. He proved he was right. He shouldn't have been. That's not what they say. So that's the difference between Variety, Rolling Stone, and YouTubers like myself. I'm sure you guys know who the other ones are, the big ones and things like that. Variety is purely grabbing it for a headline. Do they say something like, we hope Johnny gets better, get well soon, like that kind of thing trends on Twitter? Hopefully he'll be back in action to play more concerts for his fans? No. They just put the statement out there, and then their mixed gray messages about Johnny's life. Let me know what you think down below. On this channel, I like to just kind of follow who's saying what. I need an Excel spreadsheet. It's all in my memory, so it's a little sloppy, but Variety has not been on Johnny's side. That much I know. Rolling Stone has not been on Johnny's side. People has not been on Johnny's side. So we know who the ones who mostly aren't, with some gray areas, like the Daily Mail, kind of a gray area. The Sun, obviously not on Johnny's side, but who cares about them? Inside the Magic, kind of hard to read. Feels like they want to be on Johnny's side, but they don't quite go the full way and only report positivity and keep the narrative straight. So that's the kind of thing you might get here if you subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. Done here for now. See you next time.